must turn to battle cries. The truth is dead, been fed to lies. They sell us lies in the name of peace, while justice rots beneath the leash. They write the laws just to serve the few. We bleed beneath the red, white, and blue, but freedom's fire still burns inside, where truth and treason often collide. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land, with fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. No peace without the will to fight. No dawn without a rebel night. The ballot's a joke and the court's offline, and American justice lags a decade behind. So strike the drum and light the flame. Each beating soul will rise again. The people's wrath is a sacred flood. The soil drains deep the martyr's blood. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land, with fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. Not for glory, not for gold, but for the stories that were never told. For every voice that they tried to drown, we will plant the flag and hold our ground. So raise your voice and raise your fists. We are the storm that they can't resist. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must grow with the blood that only the brave know. And if we should fall, then we fall as one beneath the rising vibrant sun. The tyrants will fall and the people will rise, because freedom never truly dies. Towers in the sky, hoarding wealth while the workers die. Billionaires with bloodstained hands, trampling lives to expand their brand. They say they earned it, they say it's fair, but they only take while we despair. Their pockets are fat and their hearts are cold. Working ourselves to death makes them more bold. But now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. The system is rigged, it's all just a game. The rich pull the strings, the poor take the blame. Wealth hoarders live in mansions, the people live in chains. The billionaires don't care, they cash in on our pay. Luxury is a cage that's been built on the backs of the common workers that they keep under attack. But we the people, we've had it rough. Their empire is fragile, we've had enough. And now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives, and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you only God's whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. No more silence, no more living in fear, no more being divided, no more broken man's tears. Don't try to keep us down. You are not our king. In every city and every town, let motherfucking freedom ring. Because the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never see your lies, and we know the deal. You hoard your wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. We signed up to fight for freedom, not to be the boots on the necks of Americans. You used us, you lied to us, and now we're coming to square the account. Get fucked and die mad about it! Admin Tip 360, bitch! We wear the scars, we bear the pain. We watched our friends die in blood and blade. You said that we fought for liberty, but we came home to fight hypocrisy. You turned the rifle around on peace. You crushed dissent, you unleashed police. You sent us in just to guard your throne. You turned the streets into a combat zone. No one wants to know. Not in this fight, we are the line. Whether it's day or night, no one wants to know. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. You armored up and sent the troops to beat down kids and protest groups, to guard the banks, protect the suits, so that they can't keep us under their boots. You wave the flag like it's a threat, but we remember every single bet that you left to rot, alone and discarded, while CEOs got golden parachute parties. Anyone wants to lose, not in this fight, we are the line. Whether it's day or night, no one wants to lose. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. To every citizen still asleep, wake the fuck up! To my fellow veterans, remember your oath! Our freedom is dying right beneath our eyes! The people in charge tell us nothing but lies. The common people starve while billionaires see, and we're the ones tossed out in the street. Let's save the rich, let's make them pay their share. Pay their taxes is a burden they can bear. Make billionaires right again! Not in this fight, we are the line. Whether it's day or night, no one wants to lose. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one wants to lose. Not in this fight, we are the line. Whether it's day or night, no one wants to lose. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one wants to lose. I got something for you. Hang on to your asses. Golden towers, velvet ropes, behind the mask, a vulture chokes, power suits and dirty hands, wag the dog in desert sands, victims screaming into voids while kings play gods with broken toys, airbrush lies on every screen. What the hell does justice mean? Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free, blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gotta scream in vain? You built your throne on broken laws. Now you're scared, you know what you saw. Silence bought with piles of cash. Erase the files, burn the trash. Martial law for damage control. Trap the board to hide your soul. Wanna light the world on fire just to dodge the light trip wire. History is a loaded gun. Tick, 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 you better run. Lock room, VIP. Predator in a crown walking free. Blood on the floor, hurt trooping shades. How many more gotta scream in vain? Your kingdom shakes with every name. You'll kill us all to dodge the blame. This ain't conspiracy, it's confession. Hidden in plain sight, full suppression. You laugh while the system bleeds, but the streets remember what you need. Truth, there's a crime. You just spare the time. When the lights come by and your ass is mine. Locked room, VIP. No more secrets, no more gates. Dragged across your marble floor. Truth is kicking down your door. I said I'm young and believe the vow. Stars and stripes, I wear them now. Trained to fight and trained to lead. Wore the flag like it was all I need. I went to war, that was my goal. Buried brothers filling bullet holes. Did what I had to cause that was the cost. I came home proud but broken and lost. The other party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. They wrapped their lives in red, white, blue, but the blood on my hands was never for you. It was never for you. They said freedom, they said truth, but fed me hate since I was a youth. Republican dreams, conservative pride, just uniforms for the greed they hide. Where were they when the VA failed? When my friends came home and we all derailed? Where were they when we screamed in pain? Too busy chasing power and gain. All the party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. You bring support to wave your flags while you turn your backs on body bags. Don't turn your back on the fallen. You say that I betrayed you. I bled for this country. What did you ever do? You cheered for war. Then you ran from the wounded. I see who the traitors really are now! I gave my all, you gave me lies. Soldiers die while your empire thrives. Call me woke, call me lost. You never paid the fucking cost. And the party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. I fight again, not for your pride, but for every soul you left behind. The party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. Justice ain't red, justice ain't blue. It's the truth, and it's coming for you! Marching down the street with your MAGA flags, spitting serpent's lies while you're waving that rag, screaming freedom while you chain the weak. It makes me sick every time you speak. Beneath your cross, beyond your scream, you sold your soul for a fascist dream. Keyboard warrior that don't know pain. A cultist crowd whose leader's insane. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees. Try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You fake your fate, now you choke on the dead. The party of law and order, but you storm the hill. You back the blue except when you're out to kill. You wave a gun in your neighbor's face. Fake ass patriot, you're a fucking disgrace. History watch while you took your stand. We saw what you did all across this land. American patriots don't kneel to a king. You're a fucking simp sucking that cinnamon ring. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees. Try to hold the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. You traded your hood for a MAGA hat. The mark of the beast, you believe in that? You don't believe the words that you shout. You chant just to drown out the doubt. You were born to lose and you still started this game. The fire is coming and we are the flame. We're gonna tear it down, bury it 6 foot deep. And we'll never forget that you're a sheep. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees. Try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 26, 47. 1, 2. He wraps himself in red, white, blue, and lies. Makes empty oaths and louder bases boast. He stalks the fire, civil reason dies. And feeds the walls of mouthy loyal hoes. He plays the strong and black as foreign ghosts. The sirens feast and tear freedom for stealth. His throne is built on smoking shit posts. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Let liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand and not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He scores people who bled for law and land, and praises the mob that stormed the sacred floor. A coward's grin, a scepter in his hand. He chooses chaos, shatters every door. His pledges rot the meaning nevermore. He traded the truth of treason, gained renown, and still he begs for power, blood, and war. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, lady liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He turns his back while tyrannies grow bold. He whispers secrets where the hawk should warn. And all for what? Some towers fake and gold. A name embalmed in scandal, loud and worn. No honor here, just falling to be mourned. A fraud and silken jester in a gown. The gospel's house, a shame we won't adorn. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Lady liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down. Oh, you down. When truth is lost beneath a gilded name, a green parade as patriotic pride, the people's trust becomes a tarnished flame, extinguished where deception dares to strike. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Oh yeah! King Breeze in 7876, so you can suck our collective dicks on blown up lies, built high on fear and spite. Commands with bluster, rage, and crude disdain. What once was law bends wrong to serve the right, and conscience cries in vain beneath the strain. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King Breeze in 7876, so you can suck our collective dicks. No kids! The motherfucker must go! No kids! Straight to jail! No kids! Oh, we can show! No kids! Him the gates of hell! He mocks the weak, the weary, and the poor, yet calls it strength to trample those below. The soul of service darkened at its core. What seeds he sowed, we're reaping what we sow. This man does not deserve our loyalty, because he thinks that he is royalty. America! Fuck yeah! King Breeze in 7076, so you can suck our collective dick, and time will move on at truth frequents its stage. No crown can outlast the people's rightful right, and time will move on and truth reclaims its stage. No crown can outlast the people's rightful rage. Baldo people! It rose in the heartland, hard and gray, a tree of iron fed by fear and greed. Its roots split courthouses and cracked the day. Its branches smothered thought and deed. The Reagan smiled, people kneeled, truth was outlawed, mercy a plea. But one light burned, the world tried to conceal. So light your lamp and dead beneath the tree. Oh, light your lamp, let it shine bright. Oh, light your lamp, let it shine bright. Oh, God, let it shine bright. Lady was tired of silence and decay, of vanishing friends, of things unsaid. So she lit one lamp, the one to obey, and raised her flame where others fled. but windows glowed across the sea, and fear began to bow its head. Now light your lamp and dig beneath the tree. Oh, light your lamp, let it shine bright. Oh, light your lamp, let it shine bright. Dear God, let it shine bright. Then came the reckoning, quiet and slow. Not guns, but truth, not blood, but names. The lies were dragged to the light to show the rot that powered the region's gains. People stood tall, they broke their chains. Justice rose from memory. Ash fell soft where pride once reigned. So light your lamp and dig beneath the tree. Oh, light your lamp, let it shine bright. Oh, light your lamp, let it shine bright. Please, God, let it shine bright. Please, God, let it shine bright. When power whispers, it must be me. Remember, lady, remember we guard the roots of our liberty. Now light your lamp and dig beneath the tree. The prices climb a little higher every time we check the shelf. Tariff twist the numbers till your stomach feels unwell. Paychecks haven't moved an inch though every bill's grown tall, and folks are whispering their worries in the aisles of every mall. They say this season's gonna hurt, that gifts should all be small. A warning from the government that hits like a blizzard snowfall. Ice thugs running down the street make neighbors lock their doors. Fears become a winter wind that rattles every floor. But even when the world feels cold and every headline steals our cheer, there's something warm we still can hold. The ones we love are near. So we'll hold the light for one another, shining through the longest night. Even when the world is trembling, hope can still burn just as bright. We'll stand hand in hand through every hard day. Not just Christmas, but all the way. When times are tough, our hearts stay tougher. This year, we'll hold the light. Parents counting pennies, wondering what their kids will say. How do I make magic when the magic slipped away? But children learn the truest gifts are hugs that last a while. Stories by a quiet tree and the warmth of someone's smile. The headlines say uncertainty will stay past New Year's Eve. And every family's fighting battles others cannot see. Still in every window, candles glow against the dark. A sign that even troubled times can't snuff the human spark. And though the world feels upside down and fear prowls like a winter storm, we won't let shadows claim this town. Together we stay warm. So we'll hold the light for one another, shining through the longest night. Even when the world is trembling, hope can still burn just as bright. We'll stand hand in hand through every hard day. Not just Christmas, but all the way. When times are tough, our hearts stay tougher. This year, we'll hold the line. We'll share the blankets, share the table, share the strength when we are able. Lift the tired, calm the fearful, make the darkest moments cheerful. Love's the gift we built together, sturdier than any toy. And our one sled can last forever, for every girl and boy. Just we'll hold the light for one another, shining through the longest night. Even when the world is trembling, hope can still burn just as bright. We'll face what comes, the storms, the hard days, standing strong in gentler ways. Together now and through all others, every year we'll hold the light. When the world grows cold, we'll shine together. Every day we'll hold the light. Washington, 6'8", weighs a fucking ton. Opponents beware. He's coming. Let me lay it on line. He had two on the vine. I mean, 2 sets of testicles so divine. On a horse made of crystal, he patrolled the land with the masonry and schnauzer in his perfect hands. Here comes George in control, winning Dougie Snuff and his gallant stroll. In opponent's brains and invented cocaine. He's coming. Washington, 6'20", fucking killing for fun. Spread, Delaware. He's coming. Sue me if I go too fast, but the sons of his opponents wish that he was their dad. Gotta wait for his wig, gotta pray for his heart. He'll kick you apart. Oh, he'll save children, but not the British children. 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 He had a pocket full of horses, fucked the shit out of bears. He threw a knife into heaven and could kill with a stare. He made love like an eagle falling out of the sky. Killed his sensei in a duel and he never said why. Washington, 12 stories high, native radiation. The present beware, the future beware. He's coming. Did I mention his 4 nuts?
Well, he also had 4 dicks.
If you took off his boot, you'd see the dicks growing off his feet.
I heard that motherfucker had like 30 goddamn dicks.
He once held an opponent's wife's hand in a jar of acid
At a party.
Lies on the screen from the Deadlight Machine. Burn it all down, they killed the American dream. Go play an escalator, a tower built on decay. Smiling like a tyrant while the world fades away. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold it for fame. History won't forget your name. Fake empire, built on greed. Fascist clown, watch it bleed. Break the chains, fight the fire, dethrone the king. Take it higher! Broken to cases, you have got blood on your hands! Worship the dollar while you ignore our demands! We storm the gates, our rage is fueled by your lies! We will sit back and watch as your empire crumbles and dies! Fear and hate is the name of your game! Divide the people and shift all the blame! The truth is dead! king. Take it higher. You build walls, we break them down. You spread light, we burn this down. You breathe fear, we fight back. Hardcore, hard counterattack. Fake empire going down. No more kings, burn the crown. Justice call, hear the sound. Rise up now and stand your ground. All out.
Now it's time for the throw punch! Oh yeah, happy hump day.
What's up?
Happy hump day. What's up, Gunny? How's it going?
It's going, man. I just got in for some Gunny in the Wild about an hour or so ago. So you'll see the clips.
Is that where you drive around on the motorcycle and like practically dare MAGA to fight you?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. I love that.
Yeah. There were some triggered Trump supporters out there today. I'll just say that. 3 good ones.
I feel like that's their entire existence, though, is just being triggered and being upsetty spaghetti at literally everything that doesn't cater to mediocre white men.
100%. And it pisses them off even more because, I kind of look like them, so, and riding a Harley and being bald. And I don't have any facial hair right now, but generally I have a beard, I'm bald. I got a camo hat. I'm, kind of built, older guy on a Harley. That really fucks them up.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't relate to looking like.
How are you doing?
I just took like a 3-hour nap on my couch, and I woke up and I was like, oh, fuck, I've got a live stream tonight. What am I doing?
Yeah, I set a reminder on my Alexa so I would remember. I was clipping some videos, and I was like, oh, shit. Because I was watching the Batman with Bane or whatever. I'm like, oh, shit, I got a podcast tonight. So I set a reminder. So, yeah, and here I am. I was upset that I didn't get to talk to you that much in D.C., man.
Yeah, I did not realize that was you because in person, it's a little bit of a different experience. I should have guessed with like the motorcycle cut, but for some reason, I just the cylinders were not firing.
That's all good.
And I was like super excited to be there with all these other people who I look up to. And the whole time, just in my mind, I had like a constant reel that was on repeat. And I was like, don't fuck this up and be weird. Don't fuck this up and be weird.
No, because what made it so what was cool is because I saw that logo. And so here's a weird little story. So I was at boot barn buying my daughter some cowgirl boots, right? So, and there was a guy, he had a Sons of Liberty shirt on, looked almost just like that. And but like he drove a really nice Ford pickup, and I'm stereotyping him in probably the wrong way. And he rides, he rides a Harley. He was cool. But in my mind, I was thinking, is there a world where MAGA is misunderstanding what Sons of Liberty is? Maybe because I kind of got a MAGA vibe off of him. So I'm not 100% sure he knew what he was wearing.
I mean, so it doesn't happen as much, but a couple years back, we used to get mistaken for this January 6th group called Sons of Liberty. I don't know if it's still around.
Yeah.
We have way more followers than they do, but they were originally like a little Facebook group, not a page, but like a group where you had to request to join, and everybody could post on the wall or whatever. And they migrated off of Facebook uh, during the insurrection and went to Discord. So we did not have a Discord at that time. We did not have a Facebook group at the time, and we were getting messages from people that were like, "Hey, it's me from the group. What's your Discord server?" We're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then they would see our content and they're like, "Oh my God, you guys are feds. You baited us into going to January 6th." And I was like, wait a minute. So for years we had to fight that stigma. And
Really?
also it doesn't help that I have the vet bro look and I get on camera and I have clickbait titles where like angry veteran rants about whatever. And then you get in there and you're like, oh, I'm gonna mock this MAGA dude. And then like 30 seconds and it's like, fuck Trump, fuck MAGA. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. But the flip side of that is that like a whole bunch of other people are seeing it and they're like, oh yeah, these are my people. And then they get in there and they're like, wait a minute, God damn it.
Yeah. And see, this is if there's any town where they would kind of misconstrue like what it is or whatever, what you were standing for, it would be here. That they would be like, oh yeah, Sons of Liberty sounds super patriotic. I don't know what it is when I'm about to buy a shirt. So, but yeah, because I looked up, like I traced back, and kind of got the feel for what it was and all that stuff. So anyway, I digress.
So I live in the deep South in the Bible Belt, way below the Manson-Nixon line.
Oh yeah,
as Robin Williams used to call it. And so I go to Waffle House like every Saturday or Sunday, depending on like gym schedule and whether or not my wife is working or getting off of a 24-hour shift or whatever. And sometimes I wear my hoodie in there. And I sat down one time and our waitress that we usually see is like fresh out of high school and has a very alternative look. She's got like snake bite piercings and whatnot. And one day she was like, it's like, oh yeah, I listened to your album. I was like, what the fuck? But on the subject of knowing who the Sons of Liberty actually were, yesterday was the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party.
Okay.
Which was primarily perpetrated, for lack of a better term, by the original, the 1765 Sons of Liberty.
Gotcha.
So, and when I was writing a post for it yesterday, which unfortunately did not get posted until today, because when you schedule the post, sometimes on like Substack and other social media, it sets it. It's like, oh, you must not want this posted today because you're scheduling it in advance. And I accidentally did it for the wrong day. So,
I've done that.
But when I was writing it, I was like, these guys destroyed like over $1 million worth, almost $2 million worth of property by today's standards. Nearly 2,000 crates of tea were dumped into harbors in like 4 different cities. And not only that, but they also like hung a couple of British loyalists. So there was political violence and destruction of property, which anybody who's paid attention for the past like 4 or 5 years, MAGA's chief complaint is, oh, the violent left. Oh, that
Yeah.
they destroy property. They don't respect anybody's personal property
Yeah.
because Antifa, Black Lives Matters, Blackify, whatever the fuck they want to call the combination of things, is destroying, like when when there's protests, stuff gets busted up and shit like that. It's like,
Mhm.
first of all, January 6th, bitch, y'all were shitting and
Yeah.
pissing in the Capitol building.
They forget about that.
And second of all, this whole country was founded on political violence. Like, that's the point of a revolution. So,
Right.
so naturally, I had to bait them and tease them. That's my
Mhm.
favorite thing, is like, y'all are such hypocrites. And here's why.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I cover that just about every time I talk to somebody doing Gunny in the wild or in a live. The hypocrisy, it takes like less than a minute before it pops up. So yeah.
Now, which socials are you on? Because when I was looking for your link tree, it just had like a handful of links for merch, but I didn't see. I saw Facebook and TikTok, but when I
Yeah.
Googled Gunny Speaks Out, it had like Instagram, like a whole
Yeah.
bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
like,
So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Substack. I just got on to X and YouTube. And I have a Blue Sky. I just don't do that much on there.
and I think I saw Threads.
Oh yeah, I do have a Threads, and I haven't really been doing a lot on there either. But yeah, I do. I'm on there too. Yep.
Same. If I post on Threads, so I use this interface called Only Social,
Mhm.
which gives me the heebie-jeebies when I type it into my browser, because as soon as I type in Only, it
Yeah.
also comes up with OnlyFans, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm not trying to see titties right now. I want to, but
Yeah.
but Only Social is kind of like Hootsuite, but for way less money. Like,
Gotcha.
Hootsuite now wants like $200 a month or something
Oof.
like that.
Good Lord.
But it will cross post to a whole bunch of different platforms
Okay.
at once. So basically, if you figure out how the posting rules work, like if you try to post to Blue Sky, for example, it limits you to like 300 characters.
Uh-huh.
And if you try to post to Instagram, you have to have a picture. So basically, you turn your entire socials into like Instagram with 300 character blurbs or whatever.
Gotcha.
But you can upload to like YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So oftentimes I'll get on there and cross post to all these different platforms. But then I get curious about the comments, and I go look like on Threads. And every time I pull up Threads is the new like Twitter,
Is
or
it?
it's the new X or whatever, because
Mhm.
when you go on there, it's literally populated, because it's a Meta property.
Right.
So Meta has, when Twitter was turning to shit under Elon Musk in the very early days of that, Facebook was like, let's use Threads and make this the new alternative to Twitter. But then all of the fascists and neo-Nazis and bigots and MAGA clowns went to Threads too. So it's like,
Oh, they did.
I can't fucking win without seeing all your crap.
I literally just
So
posted a thing on X yesterday. I think my third post, and I thought X was like, like anything goes, and then they flagged my account because somebody reported it for hate speech
they
over
get
some
really
BS.
mad over there.
Yeah, and so they put me. I had to go through these steps, go back and delete the video, and then I had to wait 12 hours before I could post on it again. I'm like, well, that's weird, because I didn't think it was that strict over there.
Yeah, it's not strict at all as long as you're a right winger. But the
Gotcha.
second that you start spouting some liberal bullshit,
Yeah.
they will clamp down and like I haven't used Twitter in over a year, because I think last year they put out a policy that essentially said that any content that you have on their platform, any post that you make,
Yeah.
automatically become theirs. and
Oh,
becomes their property. And
really?
I was like, no, you're not going to use my content to make ads for your stupid platform to make the world's richest man even richer. So I stopped using it, but I didn't delete the
Yeah.
account.
Right.
But
I use it mainly to
I've
read Trump's posts, and I troll his page. That's really the only reason why, I see what he's posting.
yeah, the past couple of days I've gotten back onto Twitter very specifically to reply to dumb shit that I see
Yeah.
elsewhere. Like I'll see somebody's screenshot of Twitter on like I'll be on like Instagram or whatever. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
no, I got to go to reply to that. Like the
Yes.
guy, the January 6th, who's like, if you don't release this woman from prison who's a political prisoner, me and my January 6th buddies and the U.S. Marshals are going to storm the prison and
What?
take her by force. And I was like, hold up, hold on. Where is this? And I looked, and it was very clearly on Twitter. And I was like, no, I can't not reply to this. This is too good.
Yeah.
Because I looked at this guy's pictures, and this dude definitely gives off very strong basement dweller vibes. And so I was like, let me go. And I trolled him. I was like, I wish you would. Like, I would love to see you meet Ashley Babbitt in the flesh and the spirit.
Yeah.
And then I said something about like Y'all Qaeda and Yokel Haram and Meal Team 6 and Green Buffets and some other shit. And then I was like, let me post this to all the social media. So like I took a screenshot of his shit and just started roasting him on other socials. That's the only time I get on there now is to just talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Which is all the time.
Hang on, let me close this comments window out. You were talking about a January 6er. We have a January 6er here where I'm at in Evansville that shows up to all the protests. And he knows me now, and I know him, and we always call each other out when we're there. I guess they call him Front Row Joes. He's a diehard Trump supporter. And anyway, still. And he has a 50-foot Trump flag that he flies on a long ass pole. It's ginormous, dude. He's insane. Yeah.
Why? Like,
oh no!
Why do you need a 50-foot? That is a lot of square feet.
It's huge, dude. Yeah,
whatever.
It's so. I mean, I'm like, holy crap! And he takes it to pretty much every time. Like he was at each of the No Kings. I don't know. We've had several protests here, but he's there pretty much at every one. But he brags that he was Front Row Joe January 6er. So and he sees my posts and all that stuff now. So, but yeah, we have one January 6er here where I'm at. So,
I would love for that dude to show up to Removal Coalition events where he like is face to face with Michael Fanone and Harry Dunn.
Michael Fanone's going to be on my podcast in January.
I love that dude. Like initially, I used to be a sheriff's deputy a very fucking long time. It's been like 17, 18 years now. But since then I've had a very dim view of law enforcement in general. Yeah. And January 6th, it was tough for me as somebody who's like is like perpetually in fuck the police, all cops are bastards mode.
Yeah.
Watching those dudes hold the line and get pounded on by the party of Back the Blue.
I know.
The party of law and order. And I mean, the insurrection itself aside, like when that was going down, I had this very sick feeling in my stomach. But seeing the cops like holding the line and whatnot, I was like, okay, as a former soldier, I can absolutely respect the martial professions, and I started getting sympathetic for them, which I realize that sounds pretty shitty when you're watching people like getting the crap kicked out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And in the aftermath, I was like, okay, all cops are still bastards, but those dudes fucking laid it on the line. They
I
did
know.
their job. And I gained a newfound respect for those guys. And typically, law enforcement, stereotypically rather, law enforcement tends to skew conservative. Like those guys are very pro-second, very conservative kind of guys. Even officers who are people of color a lot of times. So it's
the Evansville,
seeing them come out.
Yeah, the Evansville cops here. So, and I didn't mean to cut you off. There, I was at a little. We do a little car show event here at a old shopping mall. It's pretty much abandoned, but anyway, it's called Cars and Coffee. And as soon as I pulled up in there, a group of like rednecks were standing there, you know. They were like, yeah, Trump. And they were like, won't you get off that motorcycle and see what happens? And I'm like threatening me. And the cops are right there letting it happen 3 times inside of like 10 minutes. So I parked the bike and I'm like, well, kick my ass. Do it. This guy, I'll tie one hand behind. The videos are posted. He's like, I'll tie one hand behind my back and do it. I'm like, then do it. And they never do anything. But the cops are letting them get away with it.
Yeah. It's just the constant level of bullshit that people get away with on the right. Even the fucking president. Like if I said, oh, this Jasmine Crockett video is treason, she should be executed. First of all, I would never say that because I have a secret crush, a not secret crush on Jasmine Crockett. But like Mark Wayne Mullen or that fucking guy in Louisiana that used to be pretty funny with his cop videos. The child support guy, what's his fucking Clay Higgins. If they made a video and I immediately retorted that they should be executed for treason, the Secret Service would be on my fucking doorstep, like knocking on it, being like, "We'd like to have a word. Could you step outside?" How's that motherfucker? And I realize that he's the president and therefore is allegedly above the law according to everybody on the right. But like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And just.
Do you know who DeWoke Farmer is, Will? He's in DC right now.
Yeah, I just made his acquaintance at the last Remove the Regime event.
He got arrested the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
for just like doing what I do, like cussing at people, calling them Nazis, you know? And I'm like, man, you know, like him too, you know, he gets arrested for that and he's exercising his free speech. And then I'm riding around with the fuck Trump flag and people are threatening me and nothing happens to them. I'm like, this shit is bass backwards, man.
I mean, so the Removal Coalition events, typically they have cops all over the place because there are a lot of sympathetic police officers in the DC area because of January 6th. So they'll be like, yeah, we know these guys aren't going to like go roll up on the Capitol, but we're also going to stand around them and A, just make sure, but also B, make sure that the MAGA dudes don't get up there. And those guys will be standing right outside. They're like literally behind the stage, like 20 feet behind the stage, shouting all manner of obscenities about like gay people. I mean, like outright homophobic slurs, shit that would get your ass kicked on the playground if you said. And cops are just like, all right, buddy, move it along.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that woke farmer is walking down the street like fuck Nazis, and the cop's like, that profanity is not allowed. I'm gonna have to arrest you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's on his way to North Carolina, by the way. They're getting ready for that Friday event where Trump rally is going to be.
Me too.
Are you going too?
Absolutely. It's right up the road for me.
Oh, no shit. I guess I didn't realize where you were at. So
yeah, I didn't used to tell people where
yeah,
it was that I lived because I have gotten like death threats in the comments, but also people who've like found my phone number uh when it was linked to Instagram or some shit like that. I would get text messages and they're like, you fucking libtard. If I catch you in real life,
yeah,
I'm gonna beat your ass, or somebody needs to permanently silence you. And
yep.
I would get these texts, and I'm like, how the fuck are they? How did they have my phone
That
number?
when I got
And
back from remove the regime, that was happening to me and to my wife both.
yeah, I I'm a very flippant person by nature. I have an invincibility complex and an ass kicking fetish. So I will one of the reasons why I like your content is because you get out there and you practically dare they're like, oh motherfucker, I'll kick your ass. And then you're like, okay, let's go. And I've seen your gym selfies and I am reasonably straight, but you're a pretty sexy dude. So if you're watching, go check out he's got like big swole gym selfies. Dude is jacked, ripped, and he gets out there and just like so I'm a smart ass and I will literally reply to these death threats and I'll be like, all right, what's your address? I'm gonna send you a one-way bus ticket for two people. Bring a friend, because you're gonna need it for him to carry you back. And I talk so much shit,
Yeah.
so much shit. Well, until like the last event, my wife actually went with me for
Oh,
the
she
very
did.
first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's not at all down with like all of the shenanigans. She's very reserved, very quiet, doesn't
That's
like to
my
draw
wife.
attention to herself.
That's Mrs. Gunny
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to like really rein it in. I'm like, I can't be like responding to these threats of violence with my wife here because
Yeah.
first of all, I don't want to put her in danger, but
Right.
also she would kick my ass.
Yeah. And so one of the things that and kind of on that note, whenever we go out, like if I'm out by myself going somewhere, I think I'm by myself, even if I'm not on the Harley, there's always an opportunity for me to talk to MAGA. So I got my meta glasses and I always wear a shirt or whatever. But if I'm out with my wife or the kids, like I don't put anything on that identifies me as who I am, and I don't get involved in any of that kind of stuff because my wife. I don't want my wife to get involved in all that. So yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Also, I don't like my couch is very comfortable, but I'm not spending the entire night on it. And also, like,
Right?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I get it. I know. They always say happy wife, happy life. And so that means that carries a lot of
Literally
weight.
just about to say that.
Yeah. And Mrs. Gunny is here right now. She's like walking around in the other room. And she's a huge part of, she was actually the reason that I started doing content like this. And just to kind of give the people that are watching a little bit of history. I've been doing this about 18 months. And prior to the election, early into last year, I was watching TikTok creators, Dean Parker, Adam Cray, Jolly, and all that stuff. And I was, getting my debate skills going or whatever. But I didn't have any thought to do anything. And somebody had posted on a woman's pay thing, and it said, make sure you keep your Harris wall signs in your front yard. So when the Civil War starts, we know where to come. So I did a clapback video to that, and I put my motorcycle cut on with my ribbons and all that kind of stuff on there, my wings, and I had my Harris wall sign in the front yard, in the middle of the yard, and I went out there and I picked it up and I moved it to the edge of the road, and I said here you go, big dog. Let me move it a little closer to the road for you, and I said Desert Storm, Somalia, 2 tours in Iraq, I'm ready, and it went viral, a 16-second video, and I ended up with like 2.4 million views within like a couple of days. And so my wife like, man, you should be doing something with your platform instead of riding your Harley and doing gym videos. I'm like, bet. So then I started doing debate lives. And Gunny in the Wild just happened by accident. I was doing a Public Enemy song, riding my Harley, doing like a political statement video. And a guy in a Dodge pickup pulled up next to me, and you can hear Public Enemy playing. And then he screamed something. I'm like, fuck you. And he said something again. I'm like, fuck you. And I'm laughing, right? And he goes, get that fucking shit out of here. He was talking about my flag. He goes, get that fucking shit out of here. Why don't you grow some balls? And we were like, had the back and forth or whatever. And that's what precipitated Gunny in the wild. And all that. I said, that all happened by accident. I'm like, well, if this guy's going to be that way, I bet I can do more if I just purposely go and look for it. So now I just troll Walmart parking lots and stuff like that and try to get Maggie to talk to me. And I got quite the following. Collectively, I have over 1 million followers now, and people in Evansville know me. And so, yeah, it's my message is getting out there.
Yeah, I think of all the people who oppose Trump or Trumpism or MAGA in general, just on general principle, of all the people, and they don't even have to be liberals. They could be like fucking libertarians for all I care, or just conservatives who aren't MAGA supporters.
Yeah.
I think that veterans, above everybody else, need to be out there speaking up, because number one, there's this perception that all veterans are conservative, which you and I know is complete horseshit. Right. The amount of veterans who showed up to the removal coalition event less than a month ago, there were a lot of veterans in the crowd.
Yep.
And I just feel like that specific niche culture needs to speak up the most, because everybody swore an oath to defend the Constitution.
Thank you.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So there's a big thing at stake. Like, that's our reputation. Like, that oath didn't expire when we got a DD-214. You swore that oath, and it has to mean something. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why I like doing live streams is to get more veterans on, whether they're running for office or not. And that's typically who we've had on lately is just political candidates. So it's always nice to get somebody who's served, who's not running. You're not running for office, right? I mean, if you were, I wouldn't care.
People want me to run for governor here.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Who have you had on that's running? I'm curious.
Oh shit. All right. Let me see. This is our upcoming live stream schedule.
Okay. Yeah.
Last night we had Bernard Taylor, who is not a veteran.
I just missed him that last visit out there.
Yeah. He's running for office in Florida.
Yep.
And then Russell Cleveland, who spoke that Friday at the veterans event. He is.
Yep, I saw him
speaking Friday, which reminds me, I need to find somebody to take over the live stream, because I'm supposed to go to this Trump protest Friday.
Hey, I'm going to be on Richard Ojita's live on Friday.
I love that guy. I've had him on like 2, 3, 4 times.
Have you really?
He's a fucking force. He's a ball of energy.
Yeah.
And once you get him going, you could pretty much like if you have him as a guest, basically just introduce him
and let him go.
Because he will take up the entire time nonstop. And that's not a criticism. This guy has the energy to sustain 2-3 hours of just thought-provoking conversation, but also like he says some really wild, funny stuff.
Does he?
Yeah, he get him on the subject of MAGA, and he just starts I respect and admire that spirit. Like I love it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to match his energy.
Oh yeah.
We have Blythe Potter, who's an Army vet, and she is running for Indiana Secretary of State. And then we have Marine veteran Nathan Sage, who's running for Senate in Iowa. We have General Sean Harris, who is a retired Army general. He is running to replace Margarine Trader Greed down in Georgia. We have Phil Ayer, who's was at the Renewable Coalition event. He is running for Congress in Florida, District 28. And then, like in the past, we've had Richard Ojeda quite a few times. We've had Bernard Taylor. We've had a lot of people from Iowa. Like just the past couple of weeks, we've had probably 4 or 5 different Iowans who are running for Congress. I can't even list them all. Like I have a list somewhere of all the candidates that we've had.
I messaged Mark Kelly's people to see if he would come on, but I know that's a stretch.
Yeah, I would love to have him on. We had Ro Khanna.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for about 9 minutes.
Oh, he didn't have a lot of time.
No, so originally his people gave us 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and then they were late. And then when they logged in, they're like, "Hey, we can't actually stay the whole 15 minutes. He's got to be gone at a certain amount of time." And it was like 9 minutes later. So, but I think we had the most views for a single live stream that we've ever had from that.
Cool.
Yeah, we've a lot of candidates. Occasionally, we have people who are not candidates, which is 100% cool with me. But I don't even care who it is or what they're doing, as long as we have like a good conversation and fun times.
I had Brian Andrews.
Lady on.
Yeah, I had Brian Andrews, the country singer. He was on 2 weeks ago, and then I had Steve Hofstetter, the comedian, on last week. I've got Michael Fanone coming up, and then I've got. Have you ever heard of the book "The Cult of Trump"? It came out like last year. Anyway, Stephen Hassan used to be a Mooney, and he writes books on cults. Well, he wrote the book called the Cult of Trump. He's going to be on my podcast on the 7th. I'm really excited about that one. The book is really good, by the way. The Cult of Trump, if you've never read it.
Yeah. We had Steve Hofstetter on. We had Nathan Monk.
My wife loves him. She's like, make sure when you get to DC, you get a picture with him. And I didn't even really know who he was. Kind of did. I didn't realize like how big he was. And she was so excited when I got a picture. And then he actually spoke to her on the live directly. So she was so excited.
Yeah, I got to hang out with him in DC.
Yeah.
More than I deserve. And he is such a nice person. Like he's funny, but he's very shy, like in person.
Well, I kind of got that vibe.
On a one-on-one. Yeah. And if you get him out of his shell, though, it's a fantastic experience. He's so nice and gentle, and he has that leather satchel with him everywhere he goes. It's great. Yeah. That Thursday meet and greet, we get up there and he comes in and I'm like, "Hey, great to see you again." Gave him a hug. I'd met him down in the lobby, like when we were checking in. So like I knew he was going to be there.
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's really nice to be here. Hey, can you hold my coat?" So like I held his coat for like a whole hour. I didn't let that shit go. I just walked around with it. I'm like, I got fun of his coat.
That's funny.
Excuse me. Sorry. So you are a combat veteran, right?
Yeah.
You said
Correct.
Desert Storm, Somalia,
and then Iraq,
and Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Yep. Yeah, I was there 03, 04 for that. And then Desert Storm, and then my Somalia stuff was weird because like there was shit going on there, but we were part of Operation Restore Hope. Like I was pre Black Hawk Down. Just so we're clear. So we were part of the humanitarian mission when the LCACs went ashore and whatnot. I actually have an interview. It's on my TikTok. I got interviewed by Dan Rather on top of the Mogadishu airport when I was there when I was 19. It's posted on my TikTok. Yeah.
Dan Rather.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I remember when that guy was like one of the biggest news people ever. Like him
Yep.
and Peter Jennings and Tom Brokaw were like
Yep.
the big three of the big three.
Yep. And how that went down was they were the gunny. They wanted to interview my gunny at the time. I was a Lance Corporal, and we had just gotten ashore, and he didn't want to do it, so he got me and my buddy Shane to do it, and then the PAO had to brief us, and so he asks us the questions, or he tells us the questions before so we can prep our answers, right? And then he slips in 2 rules of engagement questions to try to trip us up and to say, if we were locked and loaded and had ammo and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we're E3, so we're like, I was a total boot. The other guy wasn't. But so I thought that was kind of shitty. But we still, we handled it fine. But and then they were videoed my mom back home in Kentucky watching me on the interview, and she was on the evening news in Kentucky. So that was kind of cool.
He went out kind of badly. But
yeah, so I don't remember exactly what had happened. But I kind of, it seems like I remember there was some sort of stigma. But yeah.
Let's see. Something about he did a report that had somebody's bullshit information, and he ended up fucking that was 2004, 2005, and I don't even remember what it was. I just remember at the time everybody was like, "Oh, Dan Rather let us down," and a lot of people, regardless of their political affiliation, which back then it was fucking 20 years ago, wasn't the way that it is now. It wasn't super hyper polarized, and the internet was still around. So
the internet for me was relatively new. I think when I had moved to Hawaii in like 97, I had just gotten my first computer, and that was had just become a thing with the internet and all that stuff. But yeah,
fraudulent documents that he had been given for a story by the person that he was interviewing or whatever, and he didn't fact check it. So basically, he helped push fake news or whatever.
Gotcha.
Is what I'm reading on it. But since then, he's like become very politically outspoken. So, he's done a lot of work to rehabilitate his image. Whatever it was back then. I remember it was a really big deal because journalistic integrity still
mattered.
Meant something.
Yeah.
2 decades ago. How far we have fallen in a single lifetime.
I mean, I grew up in the Walter Cronkite days. How old are you?
Oh my God, yes.
How old are you?
I am almost 50.
Okay, yeah. So I grew, so I'm 54. So, I remember Walter Cronkite was, a big deal back then. And I met a reporter here for a local news station. She was doing some stuff, and she was talking to me about my flag and stuff. She didn't do an interview with me because they don't do politics. But she had went to school at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. And we had that conversation, back when, all truth and, journalism really freaking mattered.
Walter Cronkite was such a badass.
Yeah.
Like he was boring, for lack of a better term. Like he wasn't any kind of shock jock or like he didn't get super emotional when he was talking about stories the way that a lot of people do now, like younger journalists. But there was safety in that. Like he was steady and basically was the rock that everybody needed when he was breaking tough stories, because there were a lot, just not every single day like there is now.
Oh yeah. Every day I turn on the news.
Glad he's not around. I feel like he would just one day throw up his papers and be like, "Good night and go fuck yourselves."
Yeah. So when were you? When were you in? I'm trying to figure out if we had overlap.
I enlisted in 1994,
Okay.
and I got out in 2004, and then I
Okay.
turned around and went back overseas as a conflict resolution specialist for a private company.
Was that Academy or Blackwater or?
No, it was less reputable.
Oh, really?
Very much.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, you don't have to tell me. I was just curious. So we were in at the same time. I went in 90 and I got out in 04. So I was just trying to, and what branch were you in?
Army.
Okay. And then, so I lat moved in 93 to become a parachute rigger. So I went to Benning in 93 to jump school. And then I went to parachute rigger school in Fort Lee, then turned around and back and went to jump master. So my job in the force recon unit was, I was the paraloft. I ran the paraloft at a force recon unit for 5 years. And but we used to jump with the 82nd and the 101st and then everybody in the Army. So a lot of my friends on active duty were Army.
The good old raspberry berets. I fucking love saying that, especially around 82nd. They get so mad. I like trolling them almost as much as I like trolling MAGA, just because. Now, so I got out, and I didn't plan on getting out. It just I hit a point where, like, I wanted to stay in. I wanted to be a lifer. Wanted to retire, and then I had a whole plan, had it all mapped out, and then just one day, I woke up. I just come back from deployment and went to morning formation or whatever, and they're like, okay, so you're supposed to be off. We're supposed to give you guys downtime, but we need you to go do a bunch of maintenance bullshit tasks or whatever. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Like, I literally just got off a plane less than 24 hours ago, showed up the formation expecting to be cut loose to go do whatever, and now I got to go back and like, you're totally altering the deal.
Yeah.
So, and then like that afternoon, we got advanced word, we got a warno that we were going to be deployed again for another 15 months. And I was like, okay, so I guess I don't have a whole lot of time back here, and I'm going to go back over there. But I was like, the money would be really nice. But over the course of like the next 3 to 4 days, it was just so much micromanagement and dog and pony bullshit, and we were not getting the downtime that was owed to us. Let me rephrase that. That had been promised to us. Mm-hmm. And then my wife was like, I broke the news. I didn't tell her the day that I found out. I told her a couple of days later. She's now my ex-wife. But let me just clarify, this is not my current wife.
Right.
And so I told her, I was like, hey, so just want to let you know that I'm making a lot of money for the next 15 months, but I have to do it over in Afghanistan.
Ooh.
She was like, no.
Oh, really?
Fuck you mean no? I can't say no. She's like, yes, you can. Because your reenlistment window is opening. And if you reenlist and if you go downrange, I'm not going to be here when you get back. By the way, I'm pregnant.
Oh.
I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I ended up, I tried to reclass. I wanted to reclass into what was called Double Op Bravo, which was Army Salvage Diver.
No shit.
The Army has divers, and they're not like Navy SEALs. They literally just go like underwater and fix shit. But they deploy on combat missions to like check canals and waterways and ports.
Interesting.
And whatnot, just to kind of inspect them. So I love to dive. I've been diving for a good 10 years prior to that. So I was like, let me try to get into the diver program. So I went down to reenlistment, and they're like, you meet every criteria except you have to be E4 and below, and you're an NCO, so you're like way too high of a rank. And I'm like, okay, well, I will. How about this? I will go punch the lieutenant and then kiss the first sergeant, and you can knock me down a couple ranks to specialist. How's that? And they're like, no, doesn't work that way. And I was pissed. I was like, you mean to tell me that the job that I want, that I'm qualified for, except for the rank, you can't waive that at all? There's no waivers. They're like, no waivers. I'm like, why do they want E4 and below for divers? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's not like the extra rank is going to weigh me down in the wetsuit. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine. I'm getting out. I'm out. Don't care. Fuck off. I'm going to go Echo Tango suitcase. And I swear I had terminal leave all worked out. I had everything lined up. I was good to go. And I would start my terminal leave in like a week. And reenlistment calls me up, and they're like, hey, Sergeant Everett, you the Army diver, you still want to do that? Because we can get you. They said they could waive the rank issue for you. And I'm like, at this point, my wife is like, I'm going to divorce you if you go back overseas. And I knew going to Army diver, I would be deployed. Like, they get deployed everywhere, just so that they can go do cool dives on their off days in like the Red Sea or wherever. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I've already got terminal leave. Like, my paperwork is done. I literally am just, I've already cleared. I got movers coming to pick up my stuff tomorrow. You waited too long. So between that and all the little tiny bullshit, just over the course of the years, the things, little tiny things, it's stacked up. And between that and the reenlistment shit, I was like, I'm out. So
yeah, that sounds like a huge freaking headache. So what did you do after you got out?
I had a good amount of money saved up from, because I'd just come off of a deployment, which was all tax-free. Mm-hmm. I'd gotten a portion of my previous reenlistment bonus came in. The last two deployments, they kicked in. I got the annual so the reenlistment bonuses for the Army, you would get half of it up front, and then you would get the remaining half would be paid out over the course of your anniversaries, right, for the next like 2 to 3 years. So it was well timed. I had a deployment. I got the reenlistment sum and all the payments during those deployments. So they were all tax free, and I was getting foreign language proficiency pay, jump pay, hazardous duty pay I didn't even know existed. I was getting like hand over fist, making really good money, but I was overseas, and I didn't spend any of it because there was nothing to do. Like, anything that you could want, you had to come to you in a care package. So I was just really like, all right, well, send me donuts. I don't care, whatever. So everything would come via care package. And I ended up saving a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching. So when I got out, I had the ability to basically take a little bit of time off and really figure out what it was that I wanted to do. So my wife moved back to Michigan while she was pregnant. And then I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I was literally just, I was living with a friend of mine, off post, the last duty station that I was at before I ETS'd, and basically just like drinking beer, listening to music with my buddies, playing D&D like many times a week, playing video games, and just not really thinking at all about what I wanted to do. And then I realized that eventually this money was going to run out. Like I had a while before it, but I'm like, I can't keep like not doing anything. Like I'm paying all my bills, and not having to work. But this leisure time is like I'm fucking lazy. So I got hooked up with a private military company that no longer exists. It was Northbridge, I think, whatever, something like that. And
So that was the private security
be,
company you did?
Yeah, basically a mercenary. And they got a contract that paid very, very well for a very short amount of time. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm doing this. So I did that. And it was not a good contract. It was I was very much not who I am today. I only cared about a very small amount of things. I didn't give a shit about anybody else's problems or issues. And at the time I was still kind of Republican. I was starting to kind of not really be down with George Bush's second term. But that was the extent of like my political involvement. Was like, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Mainly because he sent us to Afghanistan, and then a year later we're in Iraq, and a year after that he's like, I don't know where bin Laden is. I don't care about bin Laden. He's not a threat. He's not a concern, whatever. My concern is Saddam Hussein, who did not have weapons of mass destruction, who did not fly planes into buildings, who did not kill Americans, except maybe the ones that invaded his country or whatever. Maybe all whopping 3 of us, whatever. And he basically did not give a shit about bin Laden at all. So I just, that was kind of, for me, was like, I don't want to support this guy. And also he's kind of a douche and he's an idiot. And I was like, our president has to be smarter than that. Now I'm like, oh
yeah, I would love a George Bush presidency.
I would not go that far. I would take a George Bush presidency,
you know what I'm saying,
over the dipshit that we have now. But
yeah.
So I got hooked up with this private military company and did some unsavory things in Africa.
No shit.
That, as it turns out, were illegal in that country and other countries. So that didn't last long. And once we extricated ourselves from that, they got another contract, an actual legitimate contract. So I ended up going back overseas, and then that company kind of collapsed mid-contract. So another company took it over, and they picked those of us who weren't raging shitbags, because they're in the PMC world. There are a lot of really terrible people. A lot of them are okay. Primarily American companies will hire ex-military, but some of them are not exactly good human beings. But foreign companies, like even British companies, like British PMCs, tend to attract a lot of bad elements. Like there were war criminals on our team that were from the Bosnian conflict. We had some former Serbs who were present at massacres.
Wow.
So that's when I knew. I was like, this company is probably not vetting people, and if they are, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
These were some very nasty, violent people. So I was like, all right, I can't be up with this. And then another company took over that contract when that company basically collapsed because of the amount of dirtbags that they had. And that company that took over cleaned house and got rid of a bunch of these guys and brought in some reasonably professional people. So I stuck around for that, made money, and then went back to the United States. And in time for, like, you know, to be a father, and my ex-wife, now ex-wife at the time, was like, you need to stop playing fucking GI Joe and going off on these adventures.
Yeah.
And come back and be like a husband and a father. And I was like, okay. So I did, and I hated it. I didn't hate being a father. I hated her. I resented this woman for basically like demanding that I get out of the military, or else she was going to divorce me. And we ended up getting divorced anyway. So I should have fucking stayed in, is what I should have done. Like an idiot. I was thinking with the wrong head or whatever. And so,
Yeah.
and then I got my go back to being a normal person job. I started out in like restaurant management, and I hated that. And then somebody was like, hey, do you know how to like code web pages? And they knew that I loved playing video games. They knew that I loved writing and creative stuff. So I got hired on at a video game company and spent probably 5 years doing that.
Oh, wow.
And then that industry, after the recession, the Great Recession of 2008, that industry did not prove sustainable. Like, you get laid off a lot. And at this point in time, I had now 2 kids, an ex-wife, and could not be like, you know, getting laid off, being like, I could just find work at another studio. So
yeah,
I've been stable ever since.
So how did you get involved doing, you know, more of the, you know, like anti-Trump political stuff? How did you get started doing that? And like, how long ago?
Do you keep in touch with a lot of your military buddies?
I
Like
did for a
that you served
while,
with?
but when they found out that I didn't support Trump, we kind of broke ties.
Same. So 2015, this orange oligarch goes rolling down his escalator, his spray painted escalator, his gold spray painted escalator, to announce that he is running for office and he is going to make America great again. A significant portion of my vet bro buddies immediately turned around and were like, I'm a nationalist too. I support making America great again. This country is a shithole, and this man from New York City is going to make everything better for us common folks. And you can't be a patriot if you're a liberal, and you can't be a good Christian and be a Democrat or liberal. And liberals are traitors, whatever jingoistic bullshit. And so, like, I took that personally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I started Sons of Liberty.
Gotcha.
And I primarily did it because under that name, because I wanted to take that back, because there were, you know, all these don't tread on me flags, and suddenly everything patriotic felt bad, felt wrong, because these guys were very quickly taking these things and attaching them to racism and prejudice and bigotry and stuff. So at the time, I had started working in indie film in the Atlanta area where I was living, and I had my own film production company. I was often asked to come help produce other films with people, because I knew how to put teams together, like find people to do things or to cast them or whatever. So that's one of the jobs of a producer, is to basically make the production happen. So a lot of people in film at that time were kind of figuring out where they stood on things, and a lot of people supported Trump in that industry initially. Very quickly, a lot of them were like, nope, this is not for us. This guy is terrible. But a lot of them were kind of on board. So I, previous to that, had been writing just these massive rants on like my personal Facebook. And I decided, for the sake of and indie film in particular, plus a lot of like background casting for like big Hollywood productions like The Walking Dead, Marvel movies and whatnot. They were being done in Atlanta, and you had to network with people. And so if you had like a bunch of political shit on your personal social media, people were like, I don't know if I want to work with this guy. So
Yeah.
even if they agreed, they didn't want to have politics mixing with their profession. So like I was like, all right, I'm going to move this off to I'm just going to start like a Facebook page and post my rants there. So initially I had like 200 followers, and then something went viral that I wrote. It was like a rant on something, and it really picked up. And so we started picking up lots of followers. I had to come up with an admin team. And that's just basically how Sons of Liberty started back in like 2015.
Gotcha. So you've been so 10. Damn, you guys been around 10 years then.
Yes, in various forms. Initially, it was just me that I had an admin team for a while, and then we got shut down, and a couple of the page admins they lost their accounts. Their accounts were basically deleted, or they were locked and they couldn't get back in. So the admin team fell apart, and it was basically just me doing content for a while, and then I stood up a new admin team, and then our original Facebook page got shut down about a year and like 3 months ago.
No shit.
How long have you been doing this? I feel like you're interviewing me.
Oh, no, it's all good. No, so like I said, I've been doing this. I've been doing this for 18 months. Like I said, I did that one video that TikTok went viral, and then I started branching out from my TikTok to do Instagram and Facebook. And so the one video that I was telling you about, where the guy was yelling at me about my flag in the black Dodge pickup, that netted me over 225,000 followers on Instagram. And so then I started cross posting from Instagram to Facebook, and I made everything Gunny Speaks Out. Now I think I'm at 388,000 on Facebook, close to 600,000 on Instagram, but my TikTok is really slow. So that really like blew up. But yeah, like 18 months. That's it. But literally before that, like all I was doing, because I bought a Harley, and I had my music and stuff that I play on there, and I would literally do karaoke while I was riding my Harley, but then I would like post the history of the song that I was singing down the of like the little minute clip. That's all I was doing, and then my gym workout videos, and that was it. So I went from like 2,000 followers to hundreds of thousands right now. So
I personally love, I don't know about anybody else, but I love historical facts, even if they're like, from 5 years ago, like just trivia stuff. Like, okay, so this song came out in, whatever, and it's about the I don't know, the drummer's obsession with blow up dolls. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So when people do that, for me, that's an added bonus. Like,
yeah,
all right, we're listening to this cool song that a lot of people know, a lot of people don't know. And by the way, here's like the entire history of the band and how they wrote this song and why it's relevant. Like that's, to me, that's the best part of musical experience, aside from listening to the music itself.
Right.
Like I love music. I've been in bands pretty much since I've been like 14. Play a bunch of different instruments. I record my own stuff, write my own stuff, and just apropos of nothing is a phrase that I'll use periodically on social media. Like on this day in 1993, the BC Boys performed on David Letterman, performed Sabotage, and then they had special guest this guy who's like the son of some famous dude. On this day in history, Nirvana debuted its Nevermind album or whatever and went mainstream, stuff like that. Just in the middle of all the political shit that gets posted. And we have a lot of admins who posts content across multiple channels. So there's going to be a wide range of stuff that gets posted by people, and most of it is political, but sometimes it's not, and sometimes it's just me posting pop culture. Like in 3 days, I'm going to be talking about It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, really?
And why that movie makes me weep.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah. So, It's a Wonderful Life. Jimmy Stewart,
Yep.
married to this woman that he loves, but he's really mad that his entire life he's tried to get out of this town, and things keep happening that make him stay there. He didn't get to go to war. He didn't get to marry the hottie in town, but he married some other beautiful woman, stuff like that. And this movie sucked when it came out. It didn't suck when it came. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't popular when it came out. So, but it came out on December 20th, and it kind of flopped initially, but then somehow it was like public domain, or somebody acquired the rights to it basically on a lark, like for $5 and a sandwich. And so then they started playing it every Christmas for like 30 years. Then people were like, this movie is great. But what they don't know is that Jimmy Stewart, who plays the main character, the guy who didn't get to go to war, Jimmy Stewart was actually a bomber pilot in World War II. He flew bombing missions over Germany and over Europe. And if you've ever seen any kind of World War II movies about, like Memphis Belle, about B-17s, or the latest one that just came out a couple of years ago, Masters of the Air. Those guys got torn the fuck up on a day-to-day basis. If you came back from a mission, you were lucky. Those planes did not have armor. Basically, you're getting shot at by German planes, or even your own guys might accidentally, fucking shoot through your plane and shit like that. And planes would blow up. People think of air war as like just this you're way up there, you can't be touched, so you're just like coming in and leveling the place and leaving. And that was not the case for these guys. So Jimmy Stewart had this Hollywood film career, and he puts it on pause. He's like, I'm going to fight. And his studio was like, no, the fuck you're not. He's like, yes, the fuck I am. And they're like, no, the fuck you're not. He's like, yes, the fuck I am. So his studio tried to sabotage his military career. And they said, okay, this guy makes us tons of money, and we turn around, put that money into your campaigns, Mr. Senator and Congressman. So Jimmy Stewart does not go overseas. He stays here in the States, and that's our compromise. And Jimmy Stewart fought it and was like, no, I'm going to fight, because people are over there fighting and dying, and I can't live my life knowing that I skipped out on that and I didn't take the place of some 18-year-old kid. So I'm fucking going. And if you you'll have to court-martial me, and I'll go join Britain's military, and I'll fly for them, and you can kiss my ass. So they're like, okay, we're going to send you over there. So he flew bombing missions. Like, he got behind the controls of, military aircraft and went up in the sky and basically flew straight through flak and gunfire and all kinds of shit. Saw planes blow up, had dudes falling onto his plane, just crazy shit. And he came back. And then a year after his service, he films It's a Wonderful Life. And that scene, in that where his angel has come and taken him away and said, this is what your life is like if you didn't exist. How everybody that their lives are now impacted because you're not there. And this is the impact that you have on people. And if you weren't here, this is what would happen to you. So he's at this stage in the movie, and he's in that bar. The scene in the bar where he's at the end of his rope. He's losing his marbles, and he's sitting in that bar, and he ad-libs a prayer. And everybody on that set was like, what is he doing? And the director was like, I don't care, just keep rolling. So they filmed him having a breakdown in the bar scene where he's just supposed to be there, and he's like, the script originally called for him to just be like, "Dear God, please get me out of this," and that was the end of it. And he ad-libbed because he was in the moment, like he lost his shit in that scene, and you can see it. They didn't do a second take. That's it. That's the take that's in that movie. That was Jimmy Stewart. That was not the character. And everybody on that set was so uncomfortable that they all had to go have a cry afterwards.
What?
So that's my favorite part of It's a Wonderful Life, and telling that story. That's why I tell the story every December 20th, because that right there was a man with PTSD telling the whole ass world that he was not okay.
I don't think I realized that Jimmy Stewart actually did all that. I just assumed that he was, just was an actor.
He was.
And I think my wife is
hemming-
really into that movie, by the way. I think she's the one. She keeps talking about it every Christmas. I've seen it, but it's
Yeah.
been years. But I think my wife's really into that.
Yeah, him and Clark Gable were like the two guys from Hollywood that were not supposed to be over there, that they're like, we're going and there's nothing you can do about it. And they went and fought and saw all kinds of terrible shit and came back completely different people.
I bet.
Jimmy Stewart stayed in the military for like his entire life, basically. Like he retired from the Air Force and then went into like the reserves or the Air National Guard or something, and then like
Really?
ended up becoming like a 3 or 4 star general or something like that.
What?
And he was, oh yeah,
Damn.
and
I
he
know
could
I've
actually
seen several.
fly. So
I know I've seen several. I've seen some of his older movies, but I had no idea even he had like a military, a full military career. Hey, did you know
Yep.
Trump is talking? Did you know Trump is talking tonight? Not to switch gears on you.
I heard that he has yet another big announcement at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Any
Like he
thoughts on
did
what
the
that
other
might
night.
be?
Oh yeah, everybody's been calling it. He's gonna fucking declare war on Venezuela. Well, let me rephrase that. Trump himself is going to say that he declares war, but he can't actually.
Yeah.
I take back what I had to take back. He's going to declare war, and there's not a goddamn thing that Congress is going to do about it because they're spineless. They have no idea how to stop themselves from being cucked by Trump. Checks and balances out the window. And every time we say, "Oh yeah, the president can't actually do that," he does it, and then people are like, "Oh, he can't do that," and he's like, "Not only did I just do it, but I dare you to not do it. Make me not do it."
So we're from the same. We're like the same era and stuff. I'm trying to figure out like what happened that. I can't figure out how we got so far away from like how shit used to be, and then a government like just pulling so much shit and then gaslighting us into thinking that it's not happening. And then, but the big thing is like, nope. Like I feel like either they're not or they can't do anything about it or both. Like I don't get it because I thought that was what the Constitution was there for. But all these people like just don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up to him, and I'm trying to figure out why.
I would like to say that this started with Trump, but I feel like it did not. I feel like there was some erosion under Reagan that we never really recovered from.
Mm-hmm.
And I was basically a kid during that whole thing. So I don't really like, I wasn't alive then. So I can basically just look at it from a historical perspective. But George Bush and the Patriot Act and subsequent Patriot Acts 2, 3, 4, Electric Boogaloo, whatever, are, in my opinion, why we're here today. And I don't think that the left, the Democrats, the Democratic Party, whatever you want to call them, I don't think that they have really come to terms with the fact that they're fighting the wrong type of battle in government. Not just like in, the House or the Senate or whatever, just in general. And once we let Trump into office the first time, and there was an election that he won or whatever, people couldn't bring themselves to vote for Hillary because Benghazi or email servers or fucking whatever. And also the Russians. I hate trotting out that excuse, but the Russians. We've been under attack for decades, and we just didn't really know it. We just were like, oh, this isn't really a big deal. It's just, it's those crazy whatever Russians, conservatives, televangelists, I don't know. We didn't pay attention, and they're like, okay, well, I'm here, and I hate gay people. And I'm going to talk about hating gay people a lot, so you'll just start to ignore me. So I hate gay people, and gay people are the devil, but also, the fucking trans people. So the gay people are bad, and also the liberals, but gay people are bad. And did you know that Obama's a Muslim? The gay people, I hate the gay people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They kept saying the same shit over and over again, but every so often they'd like, and oh, by the way, this other thing. And that's actually how Joe Rogan became a manosphere right-wing influencer, because here's this big buff dude who can fight and tell jokes, and he says funny things to certain people. I don't personally think he's funny, but he says he does this shocking joke stuff shtick thing that some people find funny. So he appeals to like young men of a certain age.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk about politics a lot. He'll talk about other things. And every so often, hey, I'm going to get high on my podcast, and I'm going to have other comedians who say funny, shocking, misogynistic shit. Like the sexual predator guy that he's got, Joey, whatever his name is. And he just talks about like sports and pop culture, whatever stuff he likes. And people are like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Like I also like wrestling or MMA fighting or five-finger death punch. And then every so often Joe Rogan will say, but did you hear about conspiracy theory X?
Yeah.
And then he'll go back to talking about whatever. And then a couple episodes later, well, the left wants to make everybody have late-term abortions, after-birth abortions, or some other crazy nonsense. And then he pivots right back and goes back to talking about, football and porno and books about war, to borrow a line from Dennis Leary. And so that's what he does. It's insidious. He presents himself as just this normal, regular working man guy, just everyday, average Joe Snuffy dude. But then he says some off-the-wall crazy shit about conspiracies. And then he talks about politics. And so all the people who follow him, who are normally used to him talking about this one lane, all of a sudden he's got a little detour because, whatever. And then they pick that up and they're like, well, Joe Rogan is talking about this, so this must be a serious thing. And that's how the right wing has a lock on conspiracy theories and subversive politics, because he normalizes that shit and he makes it okay, because clearly here's a righteous dude who goes to the gym, works out, fights people, tells jokes, and smokes pot. So he's just like every average American guy. But also he's a little crazy with the conspiracy theories, and that must be okay. And it also must be okay to endorse right-wing politicians. So I'm going to vote that way. That's how we got in this position. The left does not have a way. They don't have a Joe Rogan type of person, whether it's a white guy, a black guy, a Chinese woman, whomever. Doesn't matter what it is, who it is, what they're doing. We don't have that. And that's what needs to change. If we're
See,
gonna win
I've said the
back,
same thing. Because if you ask anybody, that's a Democrat or whatever, who do you see being the face of the party? Everybody's got a different answer. It needs to be
hmm
the same answer.
right?
Like we need, I guess, like we need our version of a Donald Trump type figure to kind of lead us out of this hell that we're going down. There's a really good book called White Rural Rage that touches on what you were talking about, and he basically what you said, and Trump being kind of genius at marketing, but he basically convinced everybody to hate the same people that he does. And that was really all he ran on. And that's I always said MAGA did not give a shit about politics until he came on the scene, started the birther movement with Obama, and then he gave them that platform to be, openly racist, misogynistic, all that stuff. And that's all they care about. And I prove it every time, either on my lives or in my Gunny in the Wild, when I ask them basic civics questions or can you tell me a Trump policy, they never know. Today, one guy got the three branches of government right. And that was one, that's two. Yeah, I'm not 18 months. Two people. Two people. You know who the other guy was in 18 months? A guy selling Trump merch in front of the White House. And I think he was probably a Democrat just using capitalism to make money on
Yep.
Trump merch because he knew
Every time I
policy.
go to DC, I see that.
Yep. He knew policy. He knew civics questions. And I had a really good conversation with him. I still bought a hat from him and then, stepped on it. But, but so so yeah. So two people in 18 months that I've been doing that, they just prove my point every day. They don't know. They don't know. They can't tell you why they voted for him.
Yeah,
So
that is a problem that
yeah,
that we need to combat. I hope that if the left finds its figurehead, it's not fucking Gavin Newsom. That's for
everybody's been
damn
throwing his
sure.
name around, but I'm not 100% sure that he would be the
He's
guy.
not really a great person.
Yeah.
It in the moment, he what he is an opportunistic guy who is modestly on the left. He's left of center at best. And when I say left of center, I mean left of American center.
Mm,
But he has a great PR team because he's got lots of money. He can afford to hire really good PR people, and
hmm
that's who runs his social media. It's not Gavin Newsom. It's Gavin Newsom's media team. If you put Gavin Newsom in front of a camera and said, "I want you to read mean tweets and do clapback," I don't think he would be able to do what his social media team is doing.
Really.
But I don't think that he's a good person. First of all, he has advanced legislation against homeless people, which is kind of a big deal for the left, but also it should be a big deal for veterans because there are a lot of homeless veterans.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, not just because I'm on the left, but also because I'm a veteran, I care about homeless people. I like to say that I hate people in general. Like people in general, just I don't like them. A lot of us, and myself included, are not good people. Selfish, self-serving, whatever. But homeless people, I've been homeless twice, and that shit sucks.
Yeah.
And if
I
you're
bet.
homeless, if you don't have a safety net to fall back on, like if somebody realizes that you're homeless and can rescue you and get you a place to live and get you back on your feet, you can escape homelessness. But very few homeless people can ever escape that cycle by themselves. And it's
Mhm.
not just because they're drunks or drug addicts or have mental issues. It's because being homeless fucking sucks.
Yeah.
If you want to have a job, you have to have clean clothes, and they can't be the same torn ass, pants and service shirt that you wear, in your tent or whatever. They got to be clean. You can't smell, so you have to have good hygiene, which you can do when you're homeless, but it's super difficult.
Yeah.
You have to have an address, a home of record. You have to have functional ID. A lot of homeless people don't, because that shit was like when you're fleeing a house, you're not like, oh, let me make sure I grab my wallet. You're gonna take whatever you can carry, and that's it. And then if you retain all your possessions, I was fortunate enough to live in my vehicle, and then people that I knew found out I was sleeping in my truck. Were like, yeah, come crash on my couch and let's see if we can get you out of this.
Oh wow.
So that's why and Gavin Newsom hates fucking, I don't know if he hates the homeless, but he has advanced legislation to criminalize being homeless,
Oh
making
really?
it impossible for homeless people to be in the normal places that they congregate to just survive. So
Huh.
fuck that dude. He also has advanced anti-trans legislation.
that was the reason that it was kind of a red flag. I remember something about that.
Yeah. So for me, like, and I spoke out about this on Sons of Liberty social media, and in Facebook in particular, people were like, "Oh, but he's not Trump." Well, no shit, he's not Trump. He's actually a successful businessman where Trump is not.
Yeah.
But I digress. And so I was getting raked. My admin team and I were like watching the comments, and it was just people on the left, allegedly, who were like, yeah, he's definitely not the person that I want, but he's what we need right now because he's actively fighting back and nobody else is. I'm like, basically, what you sound like you're telling me is that Stalin was okay because even though he ended up killing like 25 million people, he still fought Hitler and therefore was not as bad as Hitler, and therefore is worthy of some small measure of praise, because at least he's not Hitler. At least he's fighting Nazis. Like that's what I hear when people, to me, and this is just my personal preference and my personal experience. Everybody else's mileage may vary. You can like Gavin Newsom's social media all you want. I can say all cops are bastards, but recognize the fact that if I need a police officer to come to my house because somebody broke into my house, that's who I'm going to call. It's the cops, right? Even though I say all cops are bastards, fuck the police. So yeah, you can like Gavin Newsom's social media because he has a savvy PR team. Those people are sharp-witted and they put out some great content. But I guarantee you, Gavin Newsom is not the person behind the keyboard every single time cranking out clapbacks. He is a politician, and inherently everybody, and I say this as somebody who has had political candidates on the show. You should be distrustful of politicians. And I acknowledge I've been helping uplift progressive candidates because that's what we do. But that doesn't, like, this whole your favorite politician thing that's come up in recent months and weeks. Like, no. You want to idolize somebody? Go idolize a fucking sports star, for fuck's sake, not politicians.
Like, when did we? Yeah, because I'm always like, well, when did we start worshiping politicians? You know, and people are like, oh, and I'm like, when? Like, question every. They're supposed to be working for us, so you question and you inquire on every last thing. And I had this conversation at Cars and Coffee with one of the guys that was threatening to beat my ass with his buddy. He came over and he goes, well, you know, I like to have an intellectual conversation. I'm like, all right, well, let's give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. And
all
so
right, let's go.
And then the first thing he says is, I love Trump. And I said, why do you love Trump? Explain that to me. I said, we should not be worshiping politicians. He couldn't tell me why, other than he just loved Trump. And he's like, well, he said we should be respecting the president. And he tried to tell me that he respected Joe Biden, even though he didn't like him. I'm like, I find that very hard to fucking believe that a Trumper liked Joe Biden because he was president. And then we got into a whole thing about the Keystone XL pipeline and native lands. And he was okay with all that. And I'm like, well, that's why you're a piece of shit. And then he walked off. And then I threw a baby bottle at him. But yeah, I'm saying why. So then they say all the time, and even the guy tonight, the 80-year-old freaking Vietnam veteran. I love Trump. I'm gonna be a red pill, red hat. This is his words. Red pill, red hat, diehard Trumper. Why? I haven't posted it yet. You'll see it because it's 10 minutes long, our conversation, and I'm cutting the snippets out of it. And when you see it, because it just makes me scratch my head, man. Like, how did we get here? Because I don't even remember people doing this with Obama. Like, I know people were really, maybe they did, I don't know. But did people like Obama the way they like Trump? Because I don't know.
He was a very popular president, even for some conservatives.
Yeah.
There were people like, and he had a great PR team too. And he was, and I know that there's going to be some fucking angry, outrage triggered the leftiest that ever leftied in the comments somewhere is going to be like, oh, war criminal because drone strikes. Get the fuck out of here. We know, we've heard it. Anyway, so by measuring Obama against other presidents, he was pretty successful, but also pretty popular. He didn't have the greatest approval rating because you can't please everybody, and this was pretty much the start of social media being weaponized for or against politicians. But he did a lot of good things, and he was also very savvy. He had a savvy PR team. His White House correspondence dinners and his public appearances and things like that. He had a great writing team that wrote for him, but he also wrote his own material. And he was, here's the family guy. His children grow up in the spotlight, but they're not terrible shitbags who say terrible things on social media. I actually met his daughters. I played laser tag with his daughters. Yeah. This is the weirdest fucking day of my life. Anyway, yeah, there were people that hero worshipped Obama, even after he was out of office. Like when he left office, people were very concerned. They're like, we haven't had a statesman in a long time. We've had decent politicians. We've had some of the world's okayest politicians, but we haven't had an actual statesman in a very, very, very long time. Obama was probably the first guy, or the first politician in a while to be a statesman, whatever, statesperson. So yeah, you remember the Hope posters? It was like the blue and red kind of, and it was like Obama and Hope and whatnot. Yeah, that was a big thing for a lot of people. So when you have someone who's decent, I mean, how far we have come, how far we have fallen is that we look back on George Bush fondly. Like he's now like elderly trickster, jokester guy slipping mints to, Michelle Obama and like, oh, I'm supposed to be behaving, but here, have a mint. And people are like, oh,
yeah,
look at the cute puppy. That's where, and he was not a great president. He got us through 9/11, but because he had good people. Motherfucker was reading a book upside down and shit.
Yeah.
So, but the whole Iraq war thing pretty much tarnished his legacy. And just not being, like strategery and nuclear and shit like that. And people made fun of that, and rightly so. But that was
the worst.
That was a different time. Like, Dan Quayle said some shit about spinach and not being able to spell the word potato, and that torpedoed his hopes for running for president. And Howard Dean, I did a video on the Howard Dean scream. I was like, you remember back then when you could be a politician and if you screamed wrong, you would lose the election? That guy got on stage, got super excited. He's like, we're going to go all the way to the White House. We're going to go to, whatever. He starts rattling off states and he got super excited. And I've done this. I have started to say a thing, but my mind was thinking something else, a different word. And it came out as a combination. It wasn't even a portmanteau. It was literally just like 7 words jumbled together. So it came out as like, and people were like, what the fuck did you just say? And I'm like, well, what I was trying to say was this, but what I was thinking was this, and what my brain wanted to say was something completely different, but it, anyway, Howard Dean is in the middle of his shtick, and he just lets out this, he's trying to say like, yeah, or yeehaw, or something. If you listen to it, you can tell that there's like maybe 2 or 3 words all together, but what it came out was yeah, and the whole ass internet, like the media, the opposition parties, the spin machines on the left and the right, other countries, just the guy didn't even do anything. If you go back and watch it, you're like, if you didn't know what to listen for, like if I just said, hey, here's this clip of Howard Dean, he's really excited, very, very fired up in the moment, you would probably watch it and be like, okay, cool. Maybe it's a little awkward, but yeah, okay. I don't want to get excited for politician, but all right, he's got the fire. And when that scream hits, if you don't know what to listen for, you might even miss it. But if you know what you're listening for, or if you remember the Howard Dean scream, all of a sudden you're like, what was that? But today, now, it's not a big deal. Like I went back and watched it like a couple months ago. I used it for video content, and I was like, I remember this. Why was this a big deal? I remember thinking, why is this a big deal back then in 2004, whatever, when this was. And now we have a guy who's like, we should execute these guys for treason because they dared criticize me. Rob Reiner had Trump delusional syndrome and deserved to die. And nobody bats a fucking eye except people on the opposite side who clearly must have Trump derangement syndrome if they're triggered about a guy saying execute somebody for treason, because that's not a big deal. But Howard Dean, and that guy was done. Why was this not? That was like not even a decade after Howard Dean, when Trump got on stage and started saying crazy shit for his first election, when he mocked a guy, a disabled,
reporter,
physically disabled, physically handicapped reporter, got up there and was like making faces and shit. And
that's one of the reasons.
Not the fucking end.
And I get so irritated because, and there was a guy I was getting into it with at Walmart 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And when people say that people say Kamala was a dumbass, I'm like, what? Have you not? And I told the guy, I'm like,
fucking way.
I told the guy, I said, tell me what sharks and batteries mean. Please tell me. And he just kept dodging the question. I'm like, tell me what sharks and batteries, So whenever I get so irritated when they say Kamala was dumb, because she's obviously not. And I'm like, you guys are just not listening to the words, or you're being willfully ignorant. Like, I don't get it, because everybody, Trump's like got like a 5th grade speaking level or something, but the shit that he says, I'm like, but every day they defend it. He gets a pass.
People who think Kamala Harris is a dumbass are probably going through the Howard Dean treatment at that particular moment. And I almost suspect it's that with regards to her laugh.
Yeah.
Her laugh does not sound like, she just heard the funniest fucking Shane Torres joke or whomever. That guy is great. Like his spiel on Guy Fieri. Like it just Google Shane Torres, Guy Fieri, and just watch the clip. You'll thank me later. She has a laugh that probably doesn't sound like an everyday person laughs, but a lot of people have weird laughs. So I don't care. Maybe it's cringe inducing. I don't know. But if you spend 5 seconds understanding who and what Kamala Harris is and what she's been in the past, aside from the fact that she has been a successful politician, was successfully elected,
Yeah.
she's also and here comes Kamala the cop thing from people on the left.
Yeah.
She was a criminal prosecutor, and you don't get to be a successful district attorney or criminal prosecutor by being an idiot.
No.
Yeah, there are maybe some dumb lawyers out there who lose some cases and just, you know, have a bad day or whatever. This woman's first of all, she's a woman. And second of
Yes.
all, she's a person of color. So if she's going to make it in a male-dominated field, being a woman and being a person of color, she has to be 3 times as good just to be as good as the next guy.
Doesn't she have 2 degrees?
At least 2.
I know she has at least 2. Yeah.
Not only is she black, but she's also Indian.
Mhm.
And I'm not hating on Indian people, but Indian parents, there's a reason that the tiger parent theme is applied to Asians, and Indians are Asian as well. But there is no way that woman came out of a family with a black parent and an Indian parent who were successful in their own rights and came out of that family being a dumbass. There's just no way.
It's impossible.
And being a successful DA and criminal prosecutor, et cetera, the level of detail that she had to pay attention to cases, like she didn't just roll up on a case and be like, okay, well, this guy broke the law and the law says this, that, and the other. No, she did her homework day in and day out. And whoever she had on her staff, whether it was as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, working for the state, as a senator, as a presidential candidate, demanded that her people knew what the hell was going on and they could competently talk about the issues so that they could brief her on the issues, so that they could give her the issue, break it down for her, give her the pros and the cons, and then she would question them based on just the way her mind worked. And if those people couldn't measure up, they didn't stay on her staff. We have reports of people who were like, yeah, I got fired from her staff. She's kind of a bitch. She's a bitch because you got fired and you sucked at your job, but I digress. Anyway, so yeah, people who say Kamala Harris is dumb, that dog don't hunt with me. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Just tell us you hate black women or you hate liberals, period.
And that's what I did.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what I did. And so my last question to that guy at Walmart a couple weeks ago, he was saying that Kamala Harris was dumb. I said, "What? Tell me what Trump meant by sharks and batteries." He denied that, and he had said, "So you actually think Kamala Harris would have been a better choice for president?" I said, "Yes," and he walked off, and he wouldn't talk to me no more. I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "Let me guess, you're a freaking racist too, because you don't, this and that." So, and I think she should have. I think Joe Biden probably should have stepped down earlier to give her a longer amount of time to run. But that wasn't the case. But
remember when he said he was going to be a one-term president? He's like, I'm not going to seek re-election. He should have stuck with that.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm in the mindset too. Like we just gotta, we gotta stop putting 70-something-year-old men into presidents. The president. I don't mean to sound like a dick or whatever, but like we need some.
We're old though. We can say that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
We're not 70, but
Yeah, 100%. So I don't know. Like I said, we got. They better start getting their eyes on somebody for 2028. They better start looking right now because we can't we can't have we can't have 90 million people not vote because they couldn't pull the trigger for Kamala. We can't have that happen again because we saw where that went. And then we got to figure out how to address the messaging of the MAGA messaging, from Trump and all that shit. So I don't know.
I wanted to say this earlier and I kind of got off topic and whatnot, but I don't think that the left has a messaging problem. First of all, it has an optics and PR problem.
Yeah.
That problem is both. I'm going to say a thing and people can get mad if they want, but just hear me out. after I say it. Give me a chance to follow through with my thought. The left can't do what the right does, because the right is very devoted to the right. It is devoted to the party. You toe the party line or you get the fuck out, or they will throw you out. They will turn you into a pariah. It is monolithic. And even though we hate MAGA and we're opposed to everything they stand for, the one thing that I will give them is that they know how to get their base in line.
Yep.
And it's by appealing to a very small window of issues. Other issues they don't care about, they don't talk about. Oh yeah, I agree. I'm for the people, but the transgenders, I'm gonna quote Dead Milkman, what the queers are doing to the soil. That's their thing.
Yeah.
They find like 2 to 3 issues. They're gonna come and take away our guns.
Yep.
They want everybody to be gay. They want everybody to be trans.
Yep.
Save our children, yada yada, whatever it is. And these are the dumbest fucking issues to a lot of people, but it doesn't matter, because that's how their granddaddy voted. That's how their daddy voted. That's how they're going to vote. And by God, my kids better not vote for a Democrat, or I will disinherit them from owning the family tractor. I don't know. So we can't do that on the left. That is our weakness, because it is our strength.
Right.
We care about too many things. And again, I'm saying a thing, so y'all don't come for me in the comments yet. Give me a second to spin this up. We care about people of color, homeless, anti-fascism, transgender people, gay people, immigrants, healthcare. I want people to basically wake up and be able to go to the doctor or the dentist or the eyeglasses or the ophthalmologist, the podiatrist, the whoever takes care of your butthole, whatever it is, and not have to pay $7 billion fucking dollars because some goddamn CEO can walk down the street and not get shot in the back of the head.
Yep.
I want people to be able to responsibly own firearms. And again, I know there's this perception that people on the left hate guns or whatever, but no, there's more fucking armed leftists than there are anybody else, but whatever. And everybody have the same fucking rights that mediocre white guys have, whether it's white women, black women, Native American women, black men, Native American men, Asian men, immigrant men, whoever the fuck, I don't care. That's what we care about. Those are the things that make the left what it is, whether you love it or hate it because you're MAGA or whatever. But we can't come together on a series of issues because everybody wants to be represented. And that is an important thing. It is important to be seen and heard. And that's the thing that we talk about unendingly, and for good reason. It's a good thing, but it also works against us, because when the left tries to say, this is our platform, we're gonna run on these issues, we're gonna run on the economy, we're gonna run on not having a fascist dictator, we're gonna run on separation of powers, we're gonna run on term limits. Those are gonna be our 4 issues. I'm just throwing a couple of things out there. Everybody's gonna be like, okay, cool, what else? Well, what about my issue? And I get that. Like, if I were, a minority person of the population with my issue, not, like I'm a minority, but like,
I understand. A marginalized community.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. If I'm from a marginalized community because of whatever, I want to be included and represented. I want to have somebody watching out for my interests. And I'm 100% behind that. But just because a politician is running on a platform that doesn't include that specific thing doesn't mean that they don't care about that issue. And that is our problem, is we want a Kamala Harris who's attractive, doesn't laugh like a braying donkey, was not a cop, / criminal prosecutor, but we also want her to publicly speak about Palestinian genocide and, you know, trans issues, voter protection, gay marriage, black people and white people getting married, because that's on the chopping block now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman had like what, 5 weeks to spin up a campaign, and everybody wanted her to talk about their issue. And if she didn't talk about it, fuck that bitch. I'm not going to vote for her. And that is our problem. We have tried to. There's the worst possible fucking person on the planet sitting in the Oval Office, or who's going to run for office. He's already run for office. He's been in the Oval Office. Now he's on the outs because he led an insurrection, and he's a fucking disaster dumpster fire of a human being, and he's going to run for office. But we don't give a shit about that because our candidate is coming in the game and isn't going to talk about, well, Biden supported the Palestinian genocide and she didn't do enough to stop it. Do you know what the fucking vice president does?
Yeah.
They sit around and wait for the president to die. That's literally their job. And, oh, by the way, if we have 50 politicians on the left and 50 politicians on the right,
they're the tie-breaking vote.
They go in and provide a tie-breaking vote, which is probably going to be with whoever is the dominant party.
Sure.
Whatever their party is. Like, so they're going to vote for whatever their people endorse, unless it's just completely fucking stupid. If they have any goddamn common sense, which they don't. That's what a vice president does. A vice president doesn't, go say, hey, I'm the vice president and my guy is taking a shit right now, so he can't talk about it. But I'm going to tell you straight up, you need to stop bombing Palestinians.
Yeah.
And that's not acceptable to people. This is the vice president. It's the second most powerful person in the country. No, it's not.
Yeah.
First of all, the president's spouse is probably, going to be the second most powerful person because they're behind the scenes.
Yeah.
When that guy goes, to bed at night, or that girl, whoever, that woman goes to bed at night, they got to lay next to that other person. Unless you're Melania Trump, and then you're, shacking up with the security at Trump Tower hotels. But again, I'm digressing. I digress a lot. The vice president is basically a fucking second string B team player. Like, they're waiting in the wings and hoping to God that nothing happens to the guy that is in the office, because they actually probably kind of like that person just a little bit at a bare minimum. And we got to get our shit together, and everybody knows it, but we don't want to actually put in the work to do it.
Yeah.
And the politicians are just kind of like, well, I got to get reelected, so I'm going to wait until it's the election cycle to start actually talking about the issues. In the meantime, I'm just going to make cute little sound bites.
Mm-hmm.
The left needs to find somebody, and I hate to say this, but it's probably going to have to be an old white guy again.
Yeah.
I hope to God it's Bernie Sanders, but
You really?
yeah, I'd like to. So I don't know if he's got the fire now,
Right.
but one thing about Bernie Sanders is that he is consistent. And since the 60s, that guy has been on the front lines, in the trenches, getting his ass beat, getting arrested, fighting for civil rights for everybody.
I know.
And love him or hate him, he's consistent, and he's tough, and he's fair. He's not perfect, but if that guy ran for office again, I don't know if I would vote for him again, because now, it's 10 years past when he initially ran, and I don't want to see Bernie Bros again. But I don't know what his mentality is now, and plus, there's a good chance that we would need his vice president. So
yeah.
And I don't want to have to deal with that in office, unless it's the current guy choking on his cheeseburger. And then I'll be like, I have a song that I want to release when that motherfucker dies. I'm gonna get my guitar out and I'm gonna strum it on camera, and maybe I'll go viral. I don't know. Maybe I'll fucking be ignored like every other thing I put out there. But
I was talking to somebody today, a friendly today when I was out, and I was like, man, I always find myself saying, "Come on, bad cholesterol, do your job."
yeah, right. And what's I forget who it was that said, I think it was Mark Twain, said something about like it was for the sake of decorum. Like, oh, I'm not gonna celebrate somebody's death, but I certainly won't, like I'll read his obituary with great relish or something like that. So I think that the time for public decorum is gone.
We're way past
never
that.
coming back. Yeah. And it's because that dude that's in the Oval Office is just basically killed all of our standards. We can't go back to the way that, like, it's just not possible.
No.
Because if it were, we would have tried that shit already. But we can create something better. But I don't want to. I want that I hope that it takes a very long time. And I hope it fucking hurts every second of the way.
Yeah.
And I hope it happens on camera. Like, I hope it's like, well, I'm going to declare war on Venezuela. And it just, and the camera's like, oh God, what's happening? I can't look away. It's like a train wreck. It's like a car accident on the side of the road, and you're stuck in traffic because everybody else is rubbernecking. So you're like, well, I might as well look and see. Oh, that's pretty bad. I want to watch the whole thing happen. And I don't give a fuck if that makes me a bad person or a bad liberal or whatever. I want to watch it happen, and I want to sit there and I'm going to like get snacks, and I'm going to have like a whole range of drinks, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, this is good. I might even put my hand down my pants. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Do an Al Bundy.
Yeah. Because the amount of misery that this person has inflicted on people that I care about, the amount of rage on a day-to-day basis, just outrage, and the fact that in 2024, 13 months ago, I wanted to be done doing all this just for a little while, to take a break, have a relaxing time, not have to worry about whether people I care about were going to just suddenly die because, they've been outlawed. I wanted to be done with it for a while. I wanted to go back to indie film and make fucking westerns and stupid skits and shit. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
This man has inconvenienced me on a personal level, and I take that personally. So, and I'm just a regular fucking white guy. So I can only imagine what everybody else has to go through because their whole existence is threatened. And that pisses me off. Like, they're inconvenienced, and now I'm inconvenienced because I care about them. Because even though I hate people, or I say I hate people, I actually care about people suffering quite a bit. And I resent having to do this.
I get mad some days. I'm like, there's some days I want to wake up and I just want to turn on the TV and not dig into this shit and just kind of have a normal day. But because
I want to kick back and watch My Little Pony.
Yeah. But because I get some of the shit I get so fucking mad about. And one of the guys tonight I was talking to this Trumper in this black truck. He just pulled up on me, and it pissed me off because he told me he wasn't a Trump supporter, and he fucking lied. And then I'm gonna go back and watch a video, but I was getting heated, pissed, and I normally don't get that heated in a lot of my videos, but I get mad about this shit, man. Because I mean, you get kind of burnt out on trying to fight this battle every day.
Yep. Watching people like Bo of the Fifth Column get burned out and quit.
Yep.
And his wife has to pick up the slack so that they can continue making a little bit of monetization cheddar. Not that I know what that's like, because I'm I'm not banned, but I'm definitely not ever going to be monetized. Like I tried when my YouTube shit started going viral. I'm like, oh, let me see if I can monetize here. Maybe I can make an extra couple bucks a month or something. Nope. They're like, your
No?
content is dangerous and
Really?
subversive. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
And I had people in the comments sections that were calling me like an op, whatever the fuck that means. Like, I guess psyop. I don't know. And saying I was just, I was monetized, and I'm like, I'm literally not. And I would post pictures. Like I would make a video of me navigating to the page where in the little tab where it was like,
Weird.
yeah, your content cannot be monetized. No, you don't get to appeal it. You suck. Fuck off. Delete all your shit, and maybe we'll consider it. That was the only thing. Their suggestion was to delete all of the controversial content, and it flagged everything. I was like, oh, even the one where I wasn't even swearing. I did one video for vote vets or something. They're like, can you do content that doesn't have profanity? I'm like, yeah, I can. And I did it, and people hated it. They're like, where are all the shits and motherfuckers and cocksuckers and goddammits? And
that's what I have to do on YouTube.
even that video.
I have to edit out. I have to bleep out the cuss words in there, or they won't push out my videos. And everybody's like, "This is boring. I want to hear you call them a piece of shit."
Yeah, I've done a couple of videos where, like, as I'm quoting something that someone else says,
yeah,
I might use like a pejorative, a naughty word that's on the banned list that like the left will cancel you list, like certain words. But what I actually do, and I'll put it in as a blooper at the end. Like I will say something that starts and ends with the same letter, but it'll be a completely different word, and then I'll just bleep it out, and then I'll be like, you thought I said something other word, didn't you? Like, I've done that a couple of times, but otherwise, like, I refuse to censor the content that I have. I might regret it later, or I might like start editing a video, and I have to edit the shit out of my videos because I stutter a lot. I don't sound like it, but it's because like I have a set of thoughts in my head that I'm like, okay, stick to this and don't fucking deviate, or you will start stuttering. So that's anyway. So like I have to edit because I'll pause a lot, and I'll get on a tangent, a subject of something, and something else will pop into my head, and I'll say it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I should have said that. But cut that out, or like. But I try to include those as like bloopers at the end, like past the throat punch. I'll be like, I'll have like 3 minutes of post throat punch content. People are like, what the hell?
I know my wife gets irritated because I'll be sitting there making content sometimes, and it'll take me 10 times, or I'll be walking outside like doing this, and I'll be pacing up and down the driveway, and she's like, what are you doing? Because she hears me saying like kind of the same thing over and over. I'm like, I keep stuttering or this or that. So she hears it 10 or 15 times, and then I post it, and then she's got to hear it when it comes up because I'm checking the comments. So yeah, I get it. Hey, I'm not trying to cut it short. I got to take a call with my daughter right now. I didn't want to but I forgot she's out of town right now, and she's getting ready to call us. Yeah. But I wanted to.
And also, it's 9:00, so there might be some fucking declaration of war. So
so
we should definitely go check out the news.
Yeah, but hey, I really appreciate you having me on here. Can you send me a link so I can get one of your sweatshirts too? Can you text it to me or put it in the email? I know it was on Etsy, but I keep forgetting. But I want to get one of your guys' sweatshirts.
Yeah,
if you can email it to or text it to my number.
I will send you a direct link to it. But I think if you pull up liberty1765etsy.com, it is. Oh, it's not pinned. But you can actually there's a search bar, so you just type in Eddie. But yeah, I'll send you a direct link. You want the PD214 one or this bad boy right?
The one you got on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it. I'll see if I can. I have to pay full price for the shit myself. Like I can't. I don't get any of it free or at a discount.
You don't get sample credit. You don't get sample credit.
Nope.
That's you got. Man, you got. I'm gonna send you who I use. and I'll tell you what they offer me.
Yeah.
You might get a better deal.
Yeah, I have like a whole bunch of my stuff, but like I have to pay full price for it too. It's
What?
lame as shit. Yeah, I
That
don't like it.
sucks.
Gunny, thanks for so much
Yes,
for
sir.
being on the live stream.
Yes,
Really
sir.
appreciate you taking time to come on.
No problem, man. And like I said, I'm gonna take a look at I need to get on. I guess I need to get on all your pages and start checking out some of your content too. But yeah, I really appreciate you, man. If you need anything from me, man, just feel free to reach out. I'll be looking for some content from you in Rocky Mount too. So I'm excited for that for you guys.
I'm actually pretty lame. When I go out and do protest stuff, I don't get on, like, I don't live stream it. I don't do
Yeah.
a whole lot. Like, when I came back from DC, the amount of selfies that people had, and I have like a whole bunch of people on my friends list, or I follow them on social media. They're like, this is me with Father Nathan. This is me with, whomever, lots of different people. And I'm like, I didn't get any goddamn photos. And there were also precious few photos of me with people. They're like, this ugly motherfucker.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there. If I don't, but I'm sure you'll post something. But be safe out there, have fun, and keep fighting the good fight for us, man.
Thanks so much for
All right,
being
man.
on the stream.
Yes, sir. We'll see you.
All right.
All right. Take care.
All right. So for everybody else, I'm gonna wrap this up real fast. I am going to pull up our live stream schedule. So just bear with me for a second. Don't dip out because Gunny's gone. Let's see. Share screen. Window. There we go. Live stream guests. All right. So this is our live stream schedule. This coming Friday, we have Russell Cleveland. I need to ask my fellow admins if they can run the show because I'm supposed to go yell at Donald Trump. Sunday, the 21st, we've got Blythe Potter, U.S. Army vet, who is running for Indiana Secretary of State. Then Monday, we've got Marine veteran Nathan Sage running for Iowa Senate candidate. And then Tuesday, we've got Iowa congressional candidate Taylor Wettock. I'm probably pronouncing the last name incorrectly. Then we've got General Sean Harris. If you don't know who that is, it's kind of a big deal. He's running for office in Margarine Trader Greed's district. And then we've got Phil Ayer, a retired Navy commander. And then Veterans Farm of North Carolina, which it's actually a pretty cool program. They take veterans and immerse them into a functional farm and teach them how to basically build a farming community farm, whatever. I'm obviously not a farmer. So anyway, they take veterans and they teach them how to build a sustainable farm. And that's what they do. So we're going to talk to them about that. That is our live stream schedule for Sons of Liberty. I'm admin Tim, Big Sarge, etc., etc. Y'all be safe, and we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for tuning in. 2 claps and a Rick. Woo!